So on the road to scratch, I'm really gonna have to sort out my over-the-top club path. Because quite frankly, I'm just tired of hitting a massive slice. And it's actually starting to really piss me off. So today's video is gonna be all about all of the techniques that I'm currently using to sort out my club path and stop hitting a massive slice. Hope you enjoy. And by the way, I'm not a golf coach, and neither do I ever intend to be one. These tips that I'm just going to give you have massively helped me out over the last few weeks. I'm not going to sit there and say they're going to guarantee you 30 yards, but could help your game out. So the first problem that I had was I was massively under-rotating on the way back. And the issue is, if you don't actually rotate enough, you tend to slide, which then tends to mean instead of the golf club coming around your body like where it should be, it does all of this sort of stuff, a steep, over the top sort of slice. So the first thing that I literally worked on with my golf coach was just feeling, and you can do this with like a, would you believe, a Bosu ball. We don't like Bosu balls, but if you actually put a ball behind you on a wall and just feel like you're taking your back pocket behind you as you go, you can then really work on fully rotating the hips back, which then allows you, your hips to actually get in position to then fully move through. This was the first thing that I did, and genuinely just getting a feel as if I went back here as opposed to sliding back made all the difference. All of a sudden, my club path started to come a little bit more the inside, and it really helped me actually unleash a bit more power as well. So that's number one. That's the first bit I would start with. Everyone thinks about all this stuff going on here, but just start with the basics and make sure the hips are rotated. It really helps me. So even if I'm going for any swing, I'm just feeling as if my first movement is my hip turning here, and then I get all the power and rotate round. So once then I started getting a bit better with my hips, we then talked about the way in which I release the club. As I was a bit of a slider, you tend to find then you're also a caster, because that's the only way you actually get the club face square, right? Where if we really want more power, more accuracy, we need to get a bit more lag on that club and come through at that like lovely pro angle where you see them all, they're all in this lovely position, right? So the first thing that I worked on was right-handed club swings. And I was trying to get the feel like I'm trying to whip the club back and then really feel like almost the club's touching my back, and then I'll accelerate through. So I'm now generating more lag on the club and really feeling like almost my right side is starting to really turn around my body a bit more, okay? Because most people, including myself, I was like massively, as soon as I'd come away, I'd just take this club here. And as soon as it comes on the inside, you then turn to find yourself here, and then it's like, hey, absolute hacksaw ridge on the ball. Boom, I'm dead. That's another OB ball, and I'm pulling out a Pro V. So for me, it was just literally doing 5 right-handed swings, just practicing that same rotation with my hips, just feeling like I'm moving through it, rotating through, and then what I would do is just go straight in after 5 right-handed swings into hitting a golf ball, and just literally trying to get that exact same feel that I'd been working on. Even if it went massively left, I wouldn't mind, because at least it's not like this powerless right shot or even a shank, which gives me shivers even thinking about it. So once I'd worked on my right-handed swings, turning my hips more, I still felt like, still tended to come over the top, which, you know, still meant that I'd get a shank now and then, I'd lose a bit of power. And you obviously hear a lot about people like drop on the inside, massively lay off the club. But what my coach gave me to do, which actually made a lot more sense to me, was feel just like I'd drop my hands down, as opposed to like drop on the inside or lay off the club, because you can still, you know, you can still get yourself in a pretty shit spot doing that. It was always just drop it down, okay? So instead of feeling like on the inside of the place, drop it straight down and then feel like just finish your swing through there, and that really helped shallow me out, but also get in that like pro position. So when I'm about to swing, once I get to that top position, I really just want to feel like I'll just drop slightly there and then I'll follow through. So for me, it should feel something like that. I mean, that was a bit unbalanced, but one thing I always find is my golf ball is so much straighter, goes further, and I hit a slight draw, which if I want to go into long drive and I want to really be successful, I need to be hitting a power draw, mate. Just like that. Remember, I'm not a golf coach. That's better. It's a lot better. I hit a tree. What? So even though this isn't really like my favourite drill, this is one that my golf coach gave me, and I think slowing something down can always help you. But he just said look at it in sort of 3 stages. So up to the top of your swing, drop the hands down, and then feel like you just rotate through. Genuinely, this is a game changer, and you're gonna need a head cover for it, all right? Now, someone like me whose right elbow tends to get a bit all over the place with the swing and cause that over the topness by winging a bit rather than it being nice and tucked to keep that club in that position. A head cover under your right armpit is an absolute game changer. So what I look to do is I look to hit 3 balls, having the head cover under my right armpit. So I'm not trying to hit full swings, I'm literally just trying to put a steady swing on the golf ball. Okay, as you can see, it might go a little bit left, but left's good. It's better than a big, massive high left to right or even a shank. And I'm just trying to get that feel of feeling like that right elbow stays tucked, and it really makes sure that my body rotates through the ball. You know, as we talked about, a lot of the reason why we get that massive fade is we're just releasing so early, our body's not rotating properly. And just something as small as that under my armpit tends to really, really help me. So once I hit 3 balls, nice and steady, I then literally chuck it away, and then I try and just hit the same full swing that I normally work on. And naturally, I tend to find that my right elbow just stays way more under it. And my ball striking has got so much better, which is, you know, I'm really happy about, because a few weeks ago, I was struggling to even hit the middle of the club face. Now, it feels odd when I don't. So, I mean, that was fucking terrible. Again, if I feel like I haven't really got to grips with it, I'll start with an 8-iron, and then I'll make it through the longer clubs in my bag to eventually the driver. As you can imagine, the longer the club gets, the more over the top people tend to get, which is why it becomes harder. So I would recommend, like, once you really get it down with the shorter clubs, make your way through the bag. So look, these are the tips that I was given from my golf coach, and they've helped me. It doesn't always mean they're gonna help you, but you might find them useful. If you do have a problem with your swing, I would always recommend going and getting a coach. It's probably gonna be the thing that you're gonna find you're gonna get the most return out of your investment with when it comes to golf. We all love to spend hundreds of pounds on golf clubs, but really, if we probably spent the same amount on a golf coach, we'd arguably be better at the game. So when you're thinking about getting a new big stick, get a new big stick, but still actually get a new coach as well. That's what I would do. I hope you found that useful. If you want to see more like this, destroy the like button, mate. And yeah, you can always subscribe.